3D printing.
Rise and follow me, I'll make you fishers of men.
My son is an engineer and his hobby is 3D printing.
For my 60th birthday,
He printed up some of these lures, and it's cool. I mean, at first I thought they were toys, but then I started looking at them. They really have potential. And this one right here, could be like a jig. You put the hook eye on that and just use it, as a jig. I don't do a lot of jig fishing, so this project I'm just gonna do this with and put it on my keychain. So, done. Easy project. But the others, just really cool. This is obviously going to be a glide bait, and I guess you could make a swim bait up. Does it have one of these? But I think I'm going to make a glide bait out of it. You can see the holes for the weights, and they even have the printed the eyelets. Has real good motion. When you print it, he told me that they just print the hinges right into it. So it has a nice little squeak. I'll put a little weight in, give it some neutral buoyancy. I'll probably replace the eyelets though on these because big fish in brittle, that would be brittle, I assume, after a while. But really cool. I'm gonna paint them up as well. This is probably my favorite. When I first saw it, I didn't think much of it, but it kind of has, if you can see right there, it has kind of it's like a whistle. So the water goes in here and it comes out here. And if you look at right there, it's kind of like, it looks like a whistle. So I imagine that you're going to get some kind of a whistle when it goes to the water. Also, there's a chamber here. I'm going to fill that with maybe BBs or some. I got some steel bearings from a old bearing, and then I'll leave that hole open, cover it, and then they'll have a nice rattle. And then I'll paint this up. I'm going to paint this up as a bluegill. I'm going to utilize the base. This purple. I really like this purple. I almost want to just leave it. But if I do, I'll probably paint some white down here, some for the belly. And I thought it would be cool if I gave it one of those old fighter teeth marks. And then on the end, of course, put a hook right here. And you can see there's a little hole for the eyelet to go in, screw in. And then with that hook, I'm going to tie on some feathers and some flash on the treble hook. This one is interesting. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do with this, but I'll paint it up. I think I'm going to just leave these eyelets. It's kind of a cross between a jig glide bait, but has a lot of flexibility. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes to the water. It's going to be super light. So it's going to be, light setup, be more of a finesse bait. This whole idea of printing these things is super cool. I don't know if you've ever watched lure making videos. My favorite is Marlin Baits. I'll put a link down at the bottom, but just watching him create these takes, hours, and for this to print up in 15 minutes, it's pretty wild. And then you can save the patterns and share them. So, pretty cool. Anyway, we'll start with this one, and we'll go from there. This is the one that I have the most hope for. I really like fishing the lipless crankbaits, and so this should be a lot of fun. And I've never had a lure that goes through like that. So it should be interesting at best. And if I can get some side-to-side shimmy on it, you can see there's the the little eyelet hole. Pretty fun. Anyway, first thing I'll do with it is I'm going to fill it with those BBs or the bearings. So we'll do that now. Okay, so I got a ball bearing. I just had these are old and worn out. Broke it open and got these got the little steel ball bearings out of there. And it looks like, just lucky, it looks like it's gonna be perfect because enough room for them to rattle, heavy enough, so looks perfect. I'm gonna just leave it just like it is. I was considered these would be too big, so I went into smaller just to get that rattle. This is not wood, it's not gonna be very buoyant, therefore I think this should be fine. But I'm gonna cover it up now, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that. I'll show you when I'm done. All right, so I found this clip. I'm not sure where it came from, but it was in my junk box. And as you can see, it almost, it's real close. So I'm gonna bend it up, grind it up, and so it just sits right down on top of that. And all this is gonna do is provide me a place where I can glue over it without worry that the glue seeps in here. This is probably overkill, but it will last and I think it'll be a good sound. It's bouncing off the metal on metal, so it might give it a nice unique tone. All right. Okay, so here's that original clip. I cut it down with the grinder, and fits in just like this. Tight fit. That's how it should be, tight fit. There we go. Very good. I'll just cover this up. Super glue and baking powder, and that will be nice and sealed, but still can rattle. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fill these cracks before I use the super glue so the super glue doesn't leak in. I'm just going to use this UV stuff. A little more. Very good. Should do it. Oh, I like that. Listen to that. Ooh, very good. All right, so I'm sure you've seen this trick. If you haven't, it's a good one to know. Just take a little plain old kitchen baking soda. I just use a straw because it's easy to put on that way. Fill it up, and then just take your super glue, douse it. When you use this, you got to use the liquid. You can't use the gel super glue. A little chemistry class. All right, now we'll sand that off. Ooh, getting close. Getting close. There you go. Cleaned it up. Listen to that. Oh man. You can just feel it. Very cool. They're gonna love it. Alright, so I did the float test with this, and unfortunately it floats too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill some holes and add some extra weight and get it just, I don't want it to actually, sink. I want it just to maybe be suspended, and have kind of the weight forward, so so it points down in the water and gets some water in there, so it naturally goes down. So right now it floats kind of like this. I want it to be just under the water like this, so I'm not going to add too much weight. I'll do some experimenting before I add it. So this is what I'm going to use for the weights. You know, regularly I melt some like you see on the other videos, but melt the plastic. And I think the big problem was my son told me that there's hollow areas in this which hold air. So that's why it floated a little more than I thought it would. But I'm going to just use some weights, you know, your regular pinch weights, and use those. All right, so drilled 2 holes here, and just put in some weights. It floats exactly how I want. Now it's like about like that, or side view, kind of like that, and real happy with it. Now I'll just cover these up, sand it, and paint it. Well, that turned out nice. All right, still rattles. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the eyelets in, and we'll see if it floats just like I wanna. Yeah. All right, I got a little sidetracked, and I found some hooks that I'm gonna be using. Took them off an old lure. One day I'm gonna redo this and paint it up, so I keep it around. Probably will never get to it though. All right, that looks good. So this is a board I made. It's a bender board, I call it. You can bend wire, make your own rigging. I stole it from my wife. Don't tell her. Just put it on here, nice little handle so you can pull, and works well. You can make your own little eyelets. Okay. Oops. Yeah, that'll do. Good dab will do you. Not too much. Now you know why I wear gloves. There we go. Oh. This needs just a little tweaking. That one is perfect. Oh, yes. Look at it taking shape. Oh, exciting. All right, almost a painting. And I see, oh, I forgot. Gotta put one there. Ibs. All right, I'll make another one. All right. There we go. Now we're cooking. That looks good. Still rattling.
All right. So as you can see, I threw on the hooks just to see how it floats, and I'm real happy with. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, but it's little head down. That's what I wanted, just enough to cover that entry, the little hole in the thing. Floats nice, and as you can see, nice and straight. And so I think that'll give me the action I want. So when you pull it, that hole is going to drive the lure down and give it a kind of a shimmy. At least I'm hoping. But very happy. So, okay, on to paint.
I'm gonna start to paint. Like I said, I am a novice at this, so I'm not expecting. Don't expect too much, but it's it'll be what it is. The picture right here is kind of what I'm aiming for. Bluegill pattern, and I'm it's a different body shape, different. You have different mouth, and that's so much. So what I'm going to do is paint this red, kind of like those old fighter pilots, and this red back here, and then I'll get into the pattern. But anyway, here we go. Look at that. All right, red done. If you're noticing, I'm not using stencils or any of that, because I don't have any. I'm kind of just freehanding it. I don't have any mesh either. I wish I did. All right, so I'm gonna, as you can see, I painted the eyes. Now I'm gonna add a little plastic to make them bubble like they do with this UV bond. Let's go see what those dogs are barking at. Oh, look at that. Oh my. Couple big mooses. Shh, quiet. Yeah, this is unusual this time of year. Usually they come in October. These things are massive. That tree that they're eating on is probably about 9-10 feet. It's pretty wild. That would be a apple tree that they're eating the branches from. Hey, be quiet. That is a cherry tree. Look at that. That is amazing. I mean, that thing. Okay, so that fence, that farm fence, is like 4 feet. So you can see his nose is like double that. This kid. He's moving on. He's like, yeah, maybe this mailbox tastes better. My neighbor always has some treats. Well, he used to. He might not anymore. It's like, wait for me. Wait for me. Well, you guys got to see some moose. Unusual for this time of year. The moose is loose in my shop. It's about the best analogy you could ever come up with, and it was come up with naturally this morning. Okay, so this is UV resin, and it's just a watered down version of that other Bond stuff. And I haven't used this a whole lot, but it's used by the people who make lures online, so hey, but I would use it. Honest. Shiny. All right, I'm gonna let that sit and harden up a little more over here. And I just saw my wife come in, and she brought me these hackle feathers from our chickens, one of our roosters. Clean them up a little. And used to be a fly fisherman, so So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tie that on there. Well, probably not that much. I'll probably cut it back a little. But I'm going to that with a little flash with a little Shetland hair. Gotta have a Shetland for this project. And so just make a nice little tail for it. And that'll be cool. I should sharpen. I'm going to sharpen these before I do anything. All right. Now, do a few whips. Alright. Clean this up just a tad more. Alright. Boy, looks great. There's a couple problems here. Alright, so here's the reason I don't have to clean that up too bad. Love this stuff. This is for tie flying. There's nothing better. Well, I shouldn't say that. Probably is. But this UV stuff works so well to finish her. And they just last forever. Beep. Sound effect. Another thing I like about it is it's like a little attractant. If you notice that it's nice and shiny finished like the lure. So it's just one more thing that the fish can see that's red and shiny and attracts it. That's my theory. That's my theory. I'm holding to it. All right. Well, that's perfect. Look at that. Oh, beauty. Just what I want. All right, I'm gonna attach it if this lure is dry anyway. And we can see a finished product. All right, finished product. I think it came out really nice. I mean, this is the first one I've ever done. So, pretty cool. I know, I didn't like that purple when I put it on, but I'm liking it now. So, kind of goes. Has a real. This has a real store-bought feel to it. That resin is super cool, easy to put on, and the tail I'll probably trim that down when I fish it. Just once I get to see the action of it, but really cool. I'm very happy. Now, will it catch fish? I don't know. That's the 3D. If it does, hey, my son has a business. I don't know if it would be these. As far as the price is concerned, it'll probably be like $200 just to make a profit. but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Look and listen to it. Kept its rattle. So that's really good. I like I try to make that mouth open, and I thought that turned out pretty good with the eyes. So pretty cool. All right, well, I hope that inspires you, or you entertains you at least. You got a little moose footage, so hey, bonus. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, please like it, subscribe, and let me know what you think. And also, Vio Can Dios.
Sometimes, whether I'm looking for him or not, that's where I find God.